And I was a neurosurgeon for almost 10 years.
I just want to talk a little bit about a MIT trained neurosurgeon that just quit his job. So his whole goal in medicine was to be able to help people to change out their limbs if they've lost, well, not change them out, but if they've lost them, then yeah, boom.
Creating a robotic arm or leg that's controlled by a person's thoughts. That was really interesting to me, and there were people working on that. And so I wanted to go into neurosurgery and learn about that and do research on it, and maybe one day do do a surgery like a Luke Skywalker replacing his arm kind of surgery.
You know what you do? You go to him and you'll get a Luke Skywalker treatment or whichever other cyberpunk universe you're thinking about. This is our doctors talking. We're talking about the people that will be saving us, that are getting disillusioned with their own, with the healthcare system and stuff. But it's not a good look.
This dream of being able to give people robotic arms or legs, I don't think will ever happen, and that's because the brain the brain knows that these small electrodes that listen to the brain are not part of the body, so it rejects it. Going back to medical school, when I took that oath and I had that older professor say that your job is to relieve suffering, that's what I understood to of what it means to be a good doctor.
You see his mentality, it's all about relieving suffering. He wants to be a good doctor, he wants to help people, but it's more and more difficult to help. And you can see that in the NHS, for example. The NHS was the National Health Service in the UK. And what happened under the pandemic was that everybody held nurses and the doctors, and the second it was over, they just threw them out like yesterday's garbage. And as a doctor, when all you want to do is help people and you can just alleviate some pain, and you can't really you can't fix the root
I could
causes.
do a perfect surgery, and some people would get better, some people would stay the same, some people would get worse, even though I did the exact same perfect surgery. And some people would get better before I could operate on them. Even with gigantic bulging discs, they would get better. If I do a perfect surgery, people are going to get better. And it wasn't always the case.
It's just very difficult to see what happens to people when you aren't really helping. You're just putting a band-aid on the open wound. In his own words, he says that a perfect surgery doesn't necessarily make people better. So what he means about this is he can fuse the spine, he can shave off stuff, he can make it kind of work again, but he's not fixing the root cause, he's not fixing the issue. And to some degree, it seems like he's disillusioned with the healthcare system, his system, and wants people to do a bit more of a holistic approach. So he talks later in the video about there's a lot of people that have gotten better before the surgery, and those people have all been in good health, not smoking, not drinking too much, good diet, moving a lot, having people around, support networks, and it feels like if our doctors are starting to think that they aren't helping, then who's in the end going to be helping us with our medicinal cares?
Wait, to actually heal, you need to eat a certain way, sleep a lot, not be stressed out, have a good social network, exercise, move your body, stretch. If you do all those things, you heal. It's a problem because our medical system isn't set up this way.
So it's in particular in America, but it's happening. It's happening other places too. It's all about the money. Like, you can't really cure cancer. You want to treat cancer, because if you treat cancer, you'll have a lot longer shelf life of a client. You'll have a lot longer of a shelf life of that client. And the biggest problem is that if you are in need of help constantly. For example, Viagra. This is a great example. A pill that needs, get the blood flow, get it up. Then what happens is that you're in constant need of it. And if you're in constant need of it, you're going to buy a pill. And if you're going to buy a pill and you need it, then it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And you're going to need a pill. And maybe you even need more pill. And that makes them money. But if they said, yo, you're stressed, you need to change your job, you have to eat better, and you have to stop smoking, and then it'll come up naturally, then it wouldn't make them money.
If you figure out a way to help people heal and you can't charge them for it, well, then you've just worked yourself out of a job. Really felt like the focus of medicine wasn't in the right place. It wasn't in healing, it was in making money from surgeries and pills and images, whatever you can make money from.
The root problem is that they're not solving the issue, they're not helping. All they're doing is creating an ethical problem. Like, do I do a surgery? Do I cut them open and take cash for something that should have been done holistically? Of course, there's always going to be those cases where you really do need the doctor to cut open and do something. Like in the case of people like Mr. Olympia. Yeah, buddy. In those cases, yes, you really do need some surgery. But he also didn't take a break when he was told to take a break by the doctors and then get more and more damage. But that's a different case. That's not the overall picture that we're talking about.
I'm the only paycheck. I need to keep working. I need to keep going to this job that I don't believe in anymore. And that tore me apart. And I knew that if I kept going back to that job every day for another 20 years, I would die before 20 years. My body and mind and soul.
If you are this doctor and you have this issue with the healthcare system, you are going to have a problem mentally, and you're going to die before your time. You're going to be working, and you're going to be working, and then you're going to see that your work doesn't mean anything. And when your work doesn't mean anything, you don't want to be a doctor anymore. And this guy was incredibly lucky. He's talking about how he has an incredible wife that was really supportive and said, just go quit, do something you love. And not everybody's so lucky as to have something like that.
Now that I've left, I haven't been this happy in my whole life. It does not feel like a crisis right now. I mean, maybe financially it might be a crisis at some point, but I've never been this happy before. Ever.
And that's another issue that we're having. If your doctor isn't getting to sleep because he has to be on call constantly, is he going to be able to do the best possible job? If you're on call constantly and can't sleep in case somebody needs an urgent surgery, then are you going to be at your 100%? Or like at least 90%? Or however many percent you want to be at,
But when you let go of something that you're holding too tightly, even though it's hurting you, when you let go of it, then you're able to pick up something else that hopefully is better for you. I wanted to spend time outside. I wanted to help my dog live a full life by being outside with me. And then I wanted to record those moments so that if I live longer than Doobie, I will have those memories and I can look back at them.
I come from a mountain town, and hearing noises of animals. I was going to say voices. Yeah, they talk to me in the sleep. Yes. Hearing noises of animals and birds, because we used to feed the birds every winter. We had like big, thick things of like bird seeds and stuff that we used to feed them with, and we'd have the same birds come every winter, and multiple families coming, and they would be nesting around the barn. And it does give you an incredible amount of peace.
And appreciate the time that I have with my dog. That's how this channel got started. I am able to be outside, be healthier. My dog is able to live a fuller life. And I've figured out a way that I can help relieve people's suffering by sharing nature scenes with them. It's not a surgery, but but it definitely works to at least one of those several things that help people heal, which is to relieve stress.
We're losing good neurosurgeons that care, and that should be a concern, honestly. I think you should all go out, get out a little bit, do a little bit of a walk, maybe exercise a bit, eat healthy enough, go have a barbecue with friends, and go be happy. I'll see you in the next video.